The NBA's All-Star Game in Charlotte is approaching, and 24 All-Stars, plus honorary fogeys Dirk Nowitzki and Dwyane Wade, will highlight a weekend packed with overwrought B-list parties, terrible basketball and miles upon miles of traffic. But we're not so cynical in these parts. There will be much worth watching, including the players themselves. They're the stars here, and among those stars, some have stood out this season, more than others. More results, rosters from first televised All-Star draft. With that in mind, we set out to look at all 24 players who will be suiting up for the game on Sunday, with apologies to the injured Victor Oladipo, who won't participate, and rank them according to their All-Star credentials. 1. James Harden. Rockets. Harden is averaging a league-best 36.5 points per game with 7.8 assists and 6.7 rebounds, and he is working on a string of 30 straight 30-point games. He has scored 40-plus points 21 times, 50-plus 5 times, and has a 61-pointer to his credit. Maybe it's not winning basketball in the long run, but it is the essence of all-star basketball. 2. Giannis Antetokounmpo. Bucks. In his sixth season, at age 24, Antetokounmpo has become, and even exceeded, the expectations laid on him back when he first entered the league as a gangly teenager. He averaged 27.1 points, and though he still has not developed a reliable perimeter shot, he's one of the most exciting players in the league to watch. Also, the Bucks have the league's best record, so he's at the top of the East All-Star heap. 3. Kevin Durant. Warriors. It's hard to imagine a guy having such a great season while also leading the league in grouchiness and moping. But lost in the speculation about what Durant might do in free agency is the fact that he is averaging 27.5 points with a career-best 6.0 assists, shooting 51.3% from the field. 4. Stephen Curry. Warriors. Much like Durant, Curry's output is easily overlooked because the Warriors are just expected to be great. But Curry is making a career-high 5.1 three-pointers per game, averaging 28.5 points and posting a true shooting percentage of 66.2. He's the league's best shooter, and he shows it nightly. 5. Anthony Davis. Pelicans. No matter how you feel about Davis's conduct over the last 2 weeks, you can't doubt his production: 28.5 points, 13.1 rebounds and 2.6 blocks per game. The rest of the season will be very uncomfortable for Davis and his team, but he will be the most sought-after player of the offseason for a reason. 6. Paul George. Thunder. All-Star games are not about defense, or else George would be in one of the top 3 slots on this list because he has been a shutdown defender on the perimeter for OKC. But he's no offensive slouch, either, by far having his best season: 28.7 points, 8.0 rebounds, 4.1 assists and 41.3% three-point shooting. George typically has struggled after the All-Star break in his career, but this is an All-Star list and that's none of our concern here. 7. Joel Embiid. Sixers. He can score 27.3 points, he can rebound 13.5 rebounds, he can pass 3.5 assists, and he certainly can play D. 2.0 blocks. Most of all, though, is that Embiid can entertain, and that's a factor over All-Star weekend. Many of the top players are going into this weekend a bit cranky. Expect Embiid to be ever quotable and fun. 8. Kawhi Leonard. Raptors. Leonard is the anti-Embiid, a guy whose quotes are as exciting as sandpaper. But he's been the cornerstone of the Raptors this year, averaging a career-high 27.0 points and leading Toronto to within a game of the league's top record. 9. Nikola Jokic. Nuggets. Jokic is only 23 and is forging a reputation as the best passing big man in the game, averaging 7.7 assists to go with his 20.4 points, both of which are career highs. The Nuggets are still the second best team in the West, boosting him into the top 10 among all-stars. 10. LeBron James. Lakers. James does not get enough credit for his grasp of his job. It's not just basketball, it's entertainment. He's done it for much of the last half of his career, and he has excelled at it. Thus, he lands in the top 10 here despite having missed 18 games and playing for a sub-.500 team. 11. Kyrie Irving, Celtics. There's no telling what Irving might say this weekend, whether it's a circular comment on leadership, a recitation of the love poems he wrote to LeBron, or his theory on the Kennedy assassination. That's always fun. Irving has put up good numbers for the Celtics, but Boston has disappointed, so he's been knocked down a peg on this list. 12. Damian Lillard, Trailblazers. Lillard is putting up a typically productive season, averaging 26.3 points, right around his average for the last 3 seasons. His shooting has been so-so, 44.8% from the field, 36.6% from the three-point line, but he has the Blazers in the fight for home court in the first round of the West playoffs. 13. Karl Anthony Towns, Timberwolves. Now that the Jimmy Butler experience has ended, Towns has gotten back to his bright future as an NBA big man. He is scoring 23.1 points per game with 12.1 rebounds and has developed an improved passing touch, with a career-high 3.2 assists. 14. Bradley Beal, Wizards. It's mostly been a disaster in Washington, with John Wall's knee injury compounded by an Achilles tendon injury, followed by the trade and shabby treatment of Otto Porter Jr. But Beal keeps humming along, with career highs in points, 25.1, rebounds, 5.1, and assists, 5.3. 15. Ben Simmons, Sixers. No, he does not shoot jumpers. Who cares? He has averaged 16.7 points, 9.1 rebounds and 7.9 assists, plays good defense and makes the shots he does take 56.9% from the field. 16. LaMarcus Aldridge, Spurs. There's nothing remarkable about Aldridge's stats, 21.0 points, 9.0 rebounds, but he is a reliable producer for a Spurs team that has been hit by injury but remains 7 games over .500 and in the thick of the West playoff race. 17. Blake Griffin, Pistons. The Pistons have a shot at sneaking into the playoffs, and Griffin is the one who could back them in there. His 26.2 points per game are a career high, and he is shooting well enough from the three-point line, 36.2%. He also averages a team-high 5.4 assists. Solid all-star season. 18. Kemba Walker, Hornets. Walker will be the host for the weekend, and certainly Charlotte is hoping the experience leaves a lasting impression on him. They need him to re-sign when he hits free agency in the summer. In the meantime, Walker is averaging a career-high 25.2 points while dishing out 5.7 assists per game. He has the Hornets in the postseason picture. 19. Klay Thompson, Warriors. Thompson has done well to silence those of us who objected to his selection as an all-star, putting aside his slow start and stringing together an impressive run. Over his last 24 games, Thompson is averaging 24.4 points, shooting 55.3% and making 51.7% of his threes. We'd still like to have seen Rudy Gobert make the team, but Thompson is proving worthy of his spot. 20. Russell Westbrook, Thunder. Sure, Westbrook has had 10 consecutive triple-doubles. In that time, he has shot just 39.4% from the field and 25.7% from the three-point line and also notched 5.0 turnovers per game. He's the league's most statistically confounding player, hyper-productive and super inefficient. He is an all-star, sure, but we don't have to like it. 21. Nikola Vucevic, Magic. Years from now, someone will stumble across the 2019 All-Star roster, wipe the dust off, squint hard and say, Nikola Vucevic was an All-Star. Indeed, he was. And a deserving one, with by far the best season of his career, 20.6 points, 12.1 rebounds, 52.1% shooting and a newfangled three-point shot he makes at a 37.9% rate. 22. D'Angelo Russell, Nets. The Nets have been one of the league's best stories, and Russell, 20.0 points, 6.6 assists per game, has been the driver of that story. He was named to fill in for Oladipo, which righted a wrong when he was not named a reserve by the coaches. 23. Chris Middleton. Bucks. The Bucks are the best team in the league. They deserve multiple All-Stars, and Middleton is their number 2 guy. He's averaging 17.1 points, 5.8 rebounds and 4.2 assists, shooting 43.8% from the field and 37.7% from the three-point line. All solid numbers, but not exactly a top-of-the-charts All-Star. 24. Kyle Lowry. Raptors. There's a case to be made that the Raptors are deserving of 2 All-Stars, and that Lowry is the team's offensive engine. Okay, but 14.3 points on 41.2% shooting. An All-Star should have to hit some statistical minimums, it would seem, and Lowry just isn't there. If we need 2 Raptors, give me Pascal Siakam.